You're going to be fired in 2 years. 24 months. What's your plan? 24 months. What do? I'm giving you an exact date. 24 months. What do? A lot of people don't even think about this. You know, they kind of see stuff coming. They see, like, a business changing policies, see them changing stuff, maybe making upgrades, you know, and they don't do a dang thing. They just keep on moving, keep on going, everything like the job's going to last forever. And 24 months is generous, you know. I'm just saying that so you can make a solid plan, you know. So 24 months, what do? What is your plan? Honestly, the first thing I would do is I'd have a conversation with AI and asking, what should I do here? Here's my plan. Here's my deal. What should I do to get in this situation? I have 24 months. That's something that, I mean, throw a prompt out there. Go ahead and throw a prompt out. This is what I do for a job. This is the experience I have. And in 24 months, I'm going to lose my job. What should I do to move on? I don't know, throw a whole bunch of stuff out there that's related to what you do, related to your field. But, yeah, 24 months. And at 24 months, you can plan and say, you know, this is what I'm going to do. I gotta have this in line. I gotta do this. Maybe I gotta do something on the side. But yeah, that'll give you a whole bunch of leeway and you know, at least have a little bit of a plan. But yeah, always kind of plan on that. Maybe you're doing something on the side so that if you got fired tomorrow, you'd be okay. A lot of people, they'd be screwed. They have one job. They have one opportunity. If somebody was to T-bone them in an intersection, you know, and just they survive and all that, but the car is trashed, you could get fired because maybe you missed 3 days of work. Maybe you go in the hospital and you miss 3 days of work. Maybe you don't call your boss because you're in the hospital. You know, ain't nobody heard from you for 4 days. You're fired. You know, stuff like that. Real life. It happens. So it's one of those things where you got to start having a plan. Because today, you get fired tomorrow. Nothing is guaranteed. You ain't even guaranteed to make it to Friday. Every single job is on the chopping block. I don't care where you are. Even a CEO, the business can go bankrupt tomorrow. You know, maybe something legal comes up and the CEO loses the business. You know, something like that. Maybe it gets taken out from under you. You know, every single white collar job right now is that threat. Every single white collar job. Anything out there that, you know, even manual labor, you can be replaced tomorrow. Just somebody or something that does it cheaper. That doesn't even have to be a person. That can be a thing. You can get a machine replacing you tomorrow. And like I've said it before, I've said it for years. I don't think, I mean, I'm going to get some hate, but like fast food and all that, slimline the menu, so maybe it's only like 5 things. If you're a hamburger place, you sell hamburgers, maybe a double hamburger and stuff like that. But yeah, robots. You don't need any of that. You can do all that with an assembly line behind the counter. Maybe you got 2 employees, one to make sure the place doesn't get robbed, and the other one to feed the machines. And then the machines make an assembly line, it comes up front, and there you go. You eat your hamburger. They do everything off the cow husk. That's like 2010. Let's go with that. That's like 2010 technology. You know, 15 years later. You know, I thought that would have been happening already, where you just go into your local fast food place, you hit 3 or 4 buttons on a display. It's made out back. You don't even see the person. You know, you pay for it at the thing. And, yeah, number 57, you open up the door for 57. let's say 5. You open up number 5 door, there's your food. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. And like, they keep the place nice, but yeah, 2, maybe 3 employees tops. There you go. You just eliminated, I don't even know how much cash. And I don't even know how much jobs. Now you don't have the kids making the burgers. You know all the mess ups and all that. But there you go. There's one thing. Car salesman. You can kill that tomorrow. I'm sorry. You can buy a car at a thing, hit 3 or 4 buttons on the thing, drops the keys. You want to take a test drive? Here you go. Show a picture of your driver's license, prove that you're a real person and all that. Here you go. Here's the keys. You're obviously going to be tracking the car and all that. Fill out all the paperwork. Make sure they're halfway. Do e-sign and all that. Rate it a display. Don't even need a car salesman. Don't need that. Today, don't need that. Do it all. Get the thing. If you're satisfied with everything, all great and all that. Heck, you could have them so that the car itself talks to you while you're doing the thing. It does the whole sales pitch, and then they display you the little 4 grid or 6 grid or whatever the heck financing options or, whatever. You go through that. There you go. And enter your account information. Nothing has to be done. Everything's e-signed. There you go. Right off a display. You don't even have an office. Still probably want to have an office, but like you could do it on like the center of a thing. You don't need the car salesman. You need the owner, but you don't need to have like a car dealer. You need to have like 30 car salesmen. You can kill all those. There you go. Now you got maybe 10 people watching the lot. Probably not a good idea, but there you go. But yeah, and then you just come up with some way to give them the keys and all that, and there you go. It's done. Get your title in 2 weeks or whatever the hell it is. But there's another one. It can be gone tomorrow. There's so many jobs right now. They can be gone tomorrow, and they will. And you need to start planning for it. You need to plan for this stuff. And that's more than having an emergency fund. That's having a plan. If like I'm saying, the car dealer, the car salesman, those jobs as a car salesman could disappear tomorrow. Gone. Everybody goes to the system, it's gone. Because it saves money. If I ain't paying a car salesman, let's just say 5% or 60 grand or 5%, whatever's cheaper, If I'm paying, and that's cheap. So if I'm going 5% or 60 grand a year, I just saved that on one by going to the system. By one, eliminating one. So if I have 10 of them, and the system only costs like $200,000 to put in place, there you go. Why are you even wasting time? That job's gone. Fast food job, like I said, that can be implemented pretty easily, especially if it's like a new construction. That job's gone. At least in that location. You're going to still have the other ones that want hands in their food and all that, but there you go. But there's so many things that can be gone tomorrow these days that if you're not planning for that, entire careers. And to replace them, you're going to have other careers. You're going to have people that have to fix those machines, the shake machine that never works, wherever the heck that is. But, dang it. But yeah, just start planning for stuff. Because if you don't plan it, you can get fired tomorrow. But right now, 2 years out. Ask AI, what do I do? This is what I do. In 2 years, I want to have a plan to do this. What do I do? Both from a financial perspective and from a learning perspective of how do I adapt. There you go. Thank you.